아침 6시에 일어나서 뭐 세면하고 회사 출근하면 7시 정도. 7시부터 뭐 보통 11시까지 일을 해요. 11시까지 일하고 집에 가면 12시. 집에 가서 밥 먹으면 1시. 그러면 바로 자고 뭐 거의 매일 똑같은 연속이에요.
My father, he has been working 24/7 for like 15 years. He never slept more than 5 hours. He works really hard. He doesn't have any friends or he doesn't have anything besides work. His core belief is his job and it's what he is. So if we let that go, he doesn't have anything.
In today's world, one of the highest goals in life is having a job. The best advice that one can give to a young person is to prepare to find employment. That is, to prepare to spend your waking life in servitude to a master.
Cronos, il dio del tempo. Fare un lavoro manuale di giardinaggio è molto rilassante perché riesci a pensare molto e ti purifica anima e corpo. Intanto non è un lavoro che devi fare con la fretta. Ti metti a potare, segui delle linee, vuoi fare delle geometrie o quando taglio le piramidi che sono qua fuori. In quel momento sei tu e la pianta e gli dai una forma e alla fine del tuo lavoro vedi l'opera finita. In questo momento ti dà soddisfazione. Perché poi ovviamente tutti ammirano quello che tu hai fatto. Mio padre, lui veramente faceva il signore, tra virgolette, non ha mai lavorato. Lui aveva molte passioni e si dedicava alle sue passioni. I cavalli erano una sua passione e le belle donne un'altra. Devo dire che il rapporto con mio padre è l'unica cosa, un brutto ricordo. Mio padre purtroppo era abbastanza un uomo egoista che pensava a se stesso. Con me, secondo me, non si è comportato bene. Non molti lo sanno, ma faccio anche il comune giardiniere. Molte volte tendenzialmente si arrabbiava con me quando mi vedeva farlo, perché diceva ma lascialo fare a chi lo sa fare. Non esiste il non far niente. Non far niente è solo la morte. Cronos. È appoggiato alla clessidra. Rappresenta il movimento, il passaggio del tempo. Quel macigno che ha sulle spalle ha 12 facce come i 12 mesi dell'anno. Alcune facce sono scure e altre sono più chiare. E poi ha le ali. Le ali perché ci indica che il tempo vola. Le ore e gli anni scorrono via velocemente. Perché ci dice Carpe Diem. Prendete l'attimo fuggente. Il tempo è inesorabile. Non perdete niente dello scorrere della vostra vita.
I'm just so busy right now. I am so busy. So busy. You wouldn't understand how busy I am. I'm just so busy right now. I am so busy. Got a lot of kind of different things out there right now. I'm just so busy right now. I am so busy. I've got, you wouldn't understand how busy I am. I'm just so busy right now. Got a lot of irons in the fire. Got a lot of kind of different things out there right now. I'm just so busy right now. I am so busy. I mean, Japan is a perfect example, right? The sense that you have. Americans, we like to have this facade of importance, and importance is built around busyness and work. Busy. We Americans love to talk about, hey, we're about family and faith, and the reality is work is really the center of most people's lives, and everything else is in orbit around that. I am so busy. On average, like when you take holiday, how long do you take for holiday every year?
6 weeks.
Like in a row?
No, not in a row.
Oh.
4 in a row for sure.
4 in a row for sure, minimum, right? I mean, if you were to tell an American that they're like every year you'd take 4 weeks in a row off, people's heads would explode, right? I mean, they just don't understand that. I don't know a single American friend of mine who has taken longer than 2 weeks on a vacation.
Do people work too much in Korea?
Yes, in Korea, people do work a lot. As far as I know, Korea ranks third in the number of hours worked every year.
한국의 그 노동자들은 집에 들어가서 4시간, 5시간 잠만 자고 오는 그런 그 집의 그 가정이라는 게 거의 파괴되다시피 했죠. 대한민국의 가정 구성이 정말 행복하지 않는 그런 나라가 됐습니다. 장시간 노동으로 인해서. 그 대부분 기업 문화가 위에 관리자 눈치를 보게 되고 사장 눈치를 보게 되고 눈치를 봐서 퇴근을 할 수가 없습니다. 저희가 그 광고를 통해서 국민들한테 알리고 거기에 대한 긍정적인 효과를 많이 저희가 받았습니다.
또 야근이야?
이러다가 밤새겠네. 말인데 가족들은 뭐 하고 있을까?
So we may not be a household name like an Amazon or a Google. So we may not be a household name like an Amazon or a Google, but that doesn't mean that the work we do is any less important, right? So we're supporting people like you. I am so busy. You wouldn't understand how busy I am. I'm just so busy right now. Got a lot of irons in the fire. Got a lot of kind of different things out there right now. I'm just so busy right now. I am so busy.
Performative workaholism.
Okay, explain.
Right, that is, you're displaying to other people that you are committed to work, almost like an alcoholic is committed to drinking. You're addicted to it. You're addicted to it. I do think it is kind of a trap for Americans. This idea that we have to be working even if we don't need to be working. Americans are always feeling guilty about taking leisure. They feel they should be at work.
Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Davies.
Awesome. Dave, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for getting everybody here.
Thank you.
There's a great study that came out. It was for 4 years in a row. They interviewed 1,500 hiring managers. Asked them the same question. When you're hiring a brand new employee, regardless of which job, which role, where you are, what's the most important skill or attribute you look for when making that hiring choice? Here on the screen in front of you, you will see 6 of the choices that employers had every single year for 4 years in a row. It says this: attitude, education, specific skills, job experience, work ethic, and work history. Okay, so anybody have a guess for where you think employers would say of these 6 was the least important? Anyone brave enough to guess? What would you say?
Education.
Education. All right. Would you believe that for 4 years in a row, what employers said was the least important skill or attribute was education?
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Dumb. No. Okay. And here's the thing. So if we know that education is the least important, what do you then suppose employers said was the most important skill or attribute?
Work ethic.
Work ethic. Anyone else agree? Work ethic. I want to give you strategies that you can use today to start building work ethic in the people you work with. In fact, what they say to us is that work ethic isn't just about showing up on time. What employers are looking for is this: people who show up regularly, but show up prepared, have that positive can-do attitude, right? Who are willing to work with others, follow the rules, right? Here's what they say work ethic is. It's about A, having a positive attitude. Attendance. It's about having good appearance. It's about having ambition.
So people stay at work even giving up vacation days to which they're entitled. They feel they should be at work. And that does definitely owe to the origins of the work ethic in Calvinist theology. The work ethic was invented by Puritan ministers in the mid-17th century. It originated from a kind of anxiety about whether one was saved. And the Puritans said, you can know that you are saved by working relentlessly. That is how you can gain assurance that you are not among the damned. If you're working like crazy to fulfill God's will for human beings on earth, then you know that you're saved. And so that gnawing guilt originates from a theological anxiety about damnation. Americans are never fully satisfied because there's always something more.
많은 외국인들이 의아해합니다. 어떻게 그렇게 장시간, 많게는 14시간까지 그렇게 일을 하면서 견딜 수 있었냐. 배고프고 정말 우리나라는 석유도 한 방울 안 나오는 그런 나라에서 IT 강국이 된 그런 거기까지 산업화 시대까지 이렇게 우리 선진국으로 올 때까지는 노동자들의 자지 않고 제대로 밥도 제대로 못 먹고 그러면서 여기까지 온 건 사실이나
In my father's generation, only thing that they feel proud of was themselves working hard. That's the only core idea they can identify themselves as of valuable assets of family. So for them, having a job and working until late and then go home, that's how they think themselves as better person. I pity him a lot because he didn't wanted that life. He wanted to have time with his children. He wanted to go vacation like others do. He know what he's missing. But he had to because that's how you can earn money in Korea in this crowded country. My father is missing everything. That's my personal point of view. He says he worked so hard and that's why he has this good family and I have been growing up so well. He says, you guys are my results and that's what I've gained. I don't think so.
What is the PC off policy?
그 PC 오프제에 대해서 좀 알고 싶습니다.
그러나 우리나라 지금 모든 업무가 PC를 통해서만 업무를 하게 돼 있기 때문에 PC를 끄게 되면 업무를 할 수 없어서 그 PC를 강제로 오프하지 않으면 그 대부분 기업 문화가 위에 관리자 눈치를 보게 되고 사장 눈치를 보게 되고 눈치를 봐서 퇴근을 할 수가 없습니다. 6시 땡. 그런 거를 찾아가는 계기가 될 거라고 생각을 합니다.
Hey, what do you think about finding a job you love? That's fantastic in a rom-com. That's fantastic in a Hollywood movie. Is the idea that because it is everything about you and it's all you do, you have to love it. No, you don't. Hear me out here. Maybe work isn't supposed to be fun.
On an annual basis, we go through 150 countries and we get a representative sample of people. And we did this across the world and we do it regularly to make sure we know what people are actually thinking and feeling. So around the world, we have slightly over 1 billion people who are lucky to have jobs. We're not talking about people who are surviving. A regular income, you know what you can count on. It's a formalized job. And that's what everybody wants. The whole world is looking for a good job. When we were trying to understand how people feel at work, we discovered there are, broadly speaking, 3 types of employees. We call them engaged employees, not engaged employees, and actively disengaged employees. Simply put, engaged employees are people who work makes them feel good. They want to do well, they're emotionally connected, they care. And in every country around the world, for example, we have 15% that are engaged. You have those who are not engaged. They're not emotionally connected, they do their job. And then you have the group that is actively disengaged. And they're actively disengaged because there's frustration. They are angry. They don't feel that people care about them. Now, actively disengaged employees undermine the efforts of engaged employees, and they spread their misery to everyone else. I mean, that's what they do, man. That's what they do. Globally, 85% of the people are either not engaged or actively disengaged. What that means is we have over 850 million people who go to work every day, don't fully know what is expected of them, don't think their manager cares about them, don't feel their opinions count, don't feel that what they're doing is really important. If we could change how people feel about work, I think many of our problems in this world could be solved.
I do enjoy being a driver. I enjoy scenery. I enjoy nature. I love being by myself. I do. But I like being alone in my own thoughts. It feels good to be able to deliver a package to someone. I am delivering to old people, nursing homes, and I enjoy the fact that people need me. I enjoy the fact that I'm doing something great, for my community and for society in whole. Time is everything to me because I like to get done. Time is everything to Amazon as well. I have had some instances where I've had over 300 or so packages, which is a lot. And so you start questioning, if I don't get done, what's going to happen? Are you just disposable? There have been some Amazon delivery drivers that have had bottles with urine in them. I found, this bottle with pee in it in the back of my van. No one should have to go through that.
Amazon has implemented AI cameras in its delivery vehicles to essentially surveil its drivers.
You're being monitored all the time. 5 different cameras on the one device. Let's say your phone goes off, the camera beeps.
Distracted driving.
Or if you grab your water bottle from the cup holders.
Distracted driving.
You can tell me all day long that it's for our safety, but I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. So you're just being monitored and watched all day long, and there are times where it's just an uncomfortable feeling.
You're under constant control. It's not just Amazon. This has been very profitable. If you control people and turn them into robots who act at command, under constant surveillance and control, you can do more.
And so now the camera is always on. The boss is always looking at them. It's all part of the extremely high levels of distrust that management has towards workers. And also a completely unrealistic idea of how human brains work and human bodies work. This whole idea that people can maintain their concentration uninterrupted for hours on end, this is not humanly possible.
No. Do you think technology can free us from work?
Can, should. Automation is like other technology. It's mostly value-free. What matters is how you use it. You can use it to liberate them from dangerous and boring and stupid work so that they can then devote themselves to free creative work.
Automation will soon eliminate millions upon millions of jobs.
The truck drivers, the fast food workers, the retail workers, the call center workers.
In the 21st century, the really big struggle will be against irrelevance. And it's much worse to be irrelevant than to be exploited.
In Kuwait, the constitution guarantees Kuwaiti citizens the right to work. It really is a kind of privilege that can be granted because we are an oil economy, and so it's possible to implement this right and to protect the right. And I think that this is a very unique situation. Kuwait is very small, and it can manage to again, sustain for a very long time this almost utopian situation. So in the public sector, in the government sector, you have a lot of people that are employed, 20 people, let's say, that are employed doing the job of one person.
So it was a PR department at the Ministry of Water and Electricity. And I was given the job of a translator, even though I haven't studied translation. I was a little bit excited in the beginning because I thought I might have some role to play. I'd already known that a government job will not really give you that satisfaction, but maybe. There was an overflow of employees, so our department did not fit all those employees, and I was one of them. I remember kind of like going to work and not knowing where to be, basically, because I had no desk. So there was a basement where it had a lot of rooms for, let's say, extra employees. They had no computers, it was just empty desks. And you had employees sitting on them. And it's almost like a storage of employees underground, you know? And I was there. Then slowly, you know, with time, after 1 month, I realized that I had no job to do. And I was just sitting there on this desk.
I work in a ministry. I just arrive and then just sit there for like almost 6 hours, maybe 6 hours, to do nothing. In 3 months, there is only one job I did, only one thing. You get this letter and you resend it to another ministry. It's an easy job.
You had a population of people who had to suffer a lot, just struggling daily for survival before the oil. And then they found this treasure, let's just spend money on things and let's just eat and relax and travel and yeah, I mean, if it is a dream, then it should be amazing. The results should be amazing. But when you really live it, you see people who are depressed and frustrated and angry, who have no purpose, no sense of meaning.
What do you think would happen if people received money without having to go to work?
If you don't have the sort of theater, going to the job, waking up early, etc., if you don't have that and you do have the income, what would you use that income and time to do? That's a really interesting question. I'm curious myself.
I think a lot of people would wonder what they would be doing with all that time if they weren't at work.
Questo sono i NEET, cioè la percentuale di ragazzi che non fanno assolutamente nulla nella vita, ma niente vuol dire proprio non lavorare, non studiare, non essere in formazione. I NEET letteralmente not in employment, education or training. Not in employment, education or training.
Per fare questo tipo di vita ci vogliono tanti soldi. Da dove viene questa ricchezza?
Cioè il numero di NEET è proporzionale all'eredità attesa. La proprietà delle case è molto diffusa. Però il punto importante è la quantità di eredi su cui questo patrimonio si spalma. Perché la donna italiana fa 1,2, 1,3 figli e quindi ogni giovane ha la consapevolezza, conscia o inconscia, di avere le spalle coperte, perché comunque le cose vadano, non sarà mai nei guai. E questa accumulazione originaria delle famiglie ha creato il fenomeno sociale più importante dell'Italia probabilmente, che è la disoccupazione volontaria. Quindi io direi che il gioco e il divertimento sono le attività principali degli italiani.
We haven't always been workaholics. We're prisoners of our own thoughts, but we could think differently. We could revalue our values and reimagine what a good life would be and what the role of work is in such a good life. There ought to be plenty of room for everybody to take their leisure. And instead of a work-based society, we would have a society based on leisure. Enjoy the arts, read, satisfy our curiosity, go out and play, have fun, and enjoy your company.
Ma imparare dall'Italia, noi sappiamo vivere.
والحين العصرية المطبعة العصرية جابت ماكينة جديدة جابت ماكينة شنو ماكينة طباعة علم. Thank you.
If you're really enjoying there, for taking a car for fully day with a driver, it's not cost you anything. Even the 5-star hotel.
Whatever responsibility you're supposed to take care of, we throw it to the expats to take care of. Just people who do the constant work, the constant hard work, basically. There are many jobs that the Kuwaitis decided not to do. Let's say if universal basic income is dependent on robots and machines to run the system, we have kind of like a similar situation, but with human beings. In every house, you will have at least 2 maids. I mean, it used to be 1 maid, but now the standard is 2.
They deal with them as if they were not humans. And they talk about them as if they were machines. How much is the Filipino? How much should I pay for this Sri Lankan? Machines or slaves?
Dealing with my depression by filling it with food, compensating for my loneliness with playing games and video games. And I kept doing that for a really long time, and eating and remaining in that comfort zone always, not leaving the nest. We are a generation of spoiled, ignorant, irresponsible people. And when the bad time comes, we won't be able to face it, and it will destroy us.
Arrivi al labirinto, tu sei carico di peccati, di angosce, non sai bene cosa devi fare nella tua vita, ti perdi nelle strade del labirinto e puoi incontrare 7 trabocchetti come i 7 vizi capitali. La maggior parte di questi sono vicoli ciechi. In qualunque trabocchetto tu entri, devi tornare sui tuoi passi, chiedere il perdono e riprendere la retta via. Alla fine arrivi a capire il tuo ruolo su questo mondo.
We should be reevaluating how we think about time. What it means to work less, I think, depends on how you see life. The thing that is of most value is time. So when I think about work, I think about purpose. I think about what it is that is going to make me feel when death arrives, this idea that I have lived a life worth living. What's my purpose? What is it that I want to do?
I just need to really dig deep and figure out, what is your purpose here on earth? What is your true purpose, and how can that purpose impact people in a positive way?
And if you had money every month without working, what would you do?